we go. Both lined. I like to bring the liner right to the edge of the eye in there. Nice and fine. For this look, I don't mind the bottoms at all. Okay, once your liner's on and dry, important parts. If you're going to use false lashes, now is when you put them on. But for a really easy, quick day-to-day look, we're just going to go with the mascara. Today I'm actually going to use another one by L'Oreal. I often like to use the Lash Architect. Today I'm going to go with the Extra Volume Collagen, just to pump them up a little bit more. Okay, twisting the mascara out. Don't like to pump it and put extra air in there. I'm going to start from the top of the lash, giving it a bit of a wiggle at the roots and then bringing it forward. This helps to build the thickness at the base of the lashes. And then looking upwards and doing them from this direction. You'll notice that I'm concentrating on the outside lashes because I really want to get that flick happening here, focusing on what I've also done with the liner. So a little bit in towards the centre and going over the outside edges again. If you so desire, you can of course do more than one application. Generally I like to stick to one because I'm very aware of any clumps that might happen. Other side. There we go. Ah, recognise those eyes? That's the way they usually look. Okay, now that we've done some really basic eyes, the next part is framing those eyes. So our eyebrows are really critical here to making the shape of our face and to get that old Hollywood look. So what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to pencil the brow a little bit more to make it heavier and to take the tails out. The product I'm using is by Lancome and it's a crayon, an eye crayon in taupe. Although my hair's quite dark and this one's actually intended for blonde, the reason that I use something so light is that I don't want to end up with a really heavy dark brow that will tend to cast shadows on the face. So I'm just going to use it to fill in a touch and bring them out a little more. I don't fill the entire brow, I'm going to start here and with light motions just fill in this centerpiece so it's nice and rounded. And you really don't need to do much to get an effect. You can see what's happening here? And drag that out a bit. The other part I'll need to do here is the tails. So once again, with little very light flicking motions rather than a hard drawn line, I'm just going to drag that tail out. Just a touch. And the same on the other side. Okay, now of course it's very important to keep them in the right shape and make sure that all the hairs stay where they're meant to stay. So the next product that I use is called Definer Brow. It's a brow gel, this one's made by Maybelline, and I think I picked it up for around the $5 or $6 mark. But like the old hair gel, we put this one on, they stay where they're meant to stay. It has your mascara type brush, which is perfect for brushing these into shape. So using the gel, I'm brushing it outwards and upwards at the same time to bring them into a nice smooth shape. Making sure there's no strays sticking out where they're not meant to be. And again on the other side. There we go. Eyes and brows done. Now, moving on, blush. Generally for these sorts of looks, you want to concentrate on the apples of your cheeks. For me, it's very easy to find the apples because you've seen them. they stick out quite a bit. So what you need to do to find the apples of your cheeks, give a bit of a smile and you'll see them appear. I don't like to go too heavy on this, but just a light dusting in a circular motion. I'm not going for the big 80s sweep here. Still a little bit of blending because I'm not quite looking for that doll effect, the complete circle. A little bit of blending, but definitely no sweeps, people. Okay, a little bit of blush, all done. Okay, now before we move on to the lips, there's one more thing that I like to do. You may have noticed that I have a little beauty spot here. It's just one of those things that I happen to have been born with, and for years when I was at school I hated it because it was part of all of the freckles that are there. Anyway, I now love it, and I actually make a feature of it. Rather than it being something that looks quite hard or harsh, if I'm using a liner to highlight that area, I'm going to use the same pencil that I used on my eyebrows. I don't try and draw a circle, I simply place it on the area and give it a push and a twist. And there we go, it's in there. Done. Okay, before the battery runs out on my camera, I'm hoping to get these lips done and show you. The lip pencil that I'm using really doesn't matter what you're using, as long as it's not too hard or too soft. And you want to do a really nice line through here. I start in the centre of the lip on the bottom and work my way out. Given that we're going to be working with a matte lipstick, if you find your lips dry out too much, apply a tiny little bit of balm, nothing too greasy or heavy, or it will give shine to the lipstick. Having a great line is critical to the finished product. Now the other thing I like to do is start in the centre and work my way out rather than coming in. That helps me to create the nice soft bow shape. Oh my goodness, she stopped talking. Wouldn't want to have it crooked. Okay, now you can fill this in with a brush, but personally I go the really easy way because I don't have time for it most often. And I also don't find it makes a difference to the staying power. The red that I'm going to use today is one by, I think it's by Boots, the chemist, number 7, and it's called Moulin Rouge. I've had this one for a while and it's a fabulous red. I start in the centre at the top and work my way out. Now you'll notice that I'm careful not to get the lipstick on top of the lip liner so that I don't have any wobbly bits or accidents. Fill it in, give it a smooch, and there you go. Basic, day-to-day glamour makeup. What do you think? Anyway, this is what you see me in most days in my outfit shots that everyone keeps asking for. So hopefully that was really simple. I'm sure you can do it yourself. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave me a comment on the video, send me an email, or perhaps even comment on the post that will accompany this. Nice to see you again, and I'm sure I'll see you again soon.